Beruchim Abayim, and welcome to Chazaq's Torah Talk, Tuesday's special programs with special guests. Tonight we have with us a very dear friend, Rabbi Yinon Kalazan. Baruch haba, Rabbi. How are you doing?
Baruchim Animtzaim, Baruch Hashem, very well.
Okay, Rabbi, it's a big honor to have you over here at the Chazaq headquarters. A special shout out to my father-in-law, Shevari. He was always listening to the Rabbi Shiurim, loves it very much, and he told me you got to get him to join the program. I'm like, you know what? Kivud Avayim includes the father-in-law, right?
Sure. Especially when they're right.
So a special thank you to you. And tonight's topic is Tu B'Shvat, the holiday of potential. But Rabbi, before we get into the topic, can you give our audience a little bit of background about yourself, a little bit what you're involved with, the holy work that you do?
Okay, so B'chasdei Hashem, I feel very lucky that Hashem gave me the zchus to teach His Torah, Torah's emes, to Klal Yisrael all over the world through the media, and that's what basically I'm doing. We need to give the confidence in Jews with Judaism. We are dealing, actually, unfortunately, with many people who do not know really what Judaism is all about, and Judaism has a lot of wisdom. You know, in the last 300 years, there are so much wisdom that we got, not just from smart, wise people, but from Hashem Himself, from Nevuah, from the Nevi'im, the prophets. So they told us what is the real nature of human being is, and what the purpose of the universe, and this is basically what Judaism is all about, and it's relevant to every generation, to every person in every generation. So our mission, my mission, what I see the importance is to just take this amazing, tremendous, so much knowledge and translate it or give it to people in our way of thinking, translate it to our language. So that's what I'm basically doing. In this, in almost 4 decades already.
Wow.
Many years I was lecturing Jewish philosophy in Arachim organization that's based in Israel, but has branches all over the world. I live in America in the last 30 years, and I'm giving classes for Jews here in America, Americans, English-speaking speakers, or Israeli with Hebrew, and that's basically what I'm doing.
Chazaq Baruch Rabbi. I know that the Rabbi does a lot more. He was actually not comfortable with this question, but we do it to all our guests. Yeah. So just for us to know a little bit more about the great work that Rabbi is involved with. So like we mentioned, tonight's topic is Tu B'Shvat, the holiday of potential. So Rabbi, most people are familiar with the Jewish holidays of Chanukah, of Purim, of Pesach, Rosh Hashanah, but Tu B'Shvat, many people always ask you, what's that, right? So maybe the Rabbi can provide us some brief background about what Tu B'Shvat is all about.
So, to be accurate, it's true. Tu B'Shvat is not a holiday. It's not a holiday, but there is something very interesting about Tu B'Shvat. The entire idea, basically, of Tu B'Shvat is relevant to things called ma'aseh. When you have to just put aside, if you were, at the old time, people was making their living from agriculture. So when you have your thing that you got in the last year, you have to divide 1/10 of it and give it to holy purposes, like Bet HaMikdash, like the temple, like the whatever. So there are years of maaseh, of things that you have to 1/10 that you have to put aside, and it's a little bit complicated. I will not go to all the details, but we have to know that we have a cycle of 7 years. For example, this year is year of Shemitah, that you are not allowed to work on the field in agriculture in Eretz Yisrael. And between the seventh are 6 years. So those 6 years divided to 2 groups. The first, second, fourth, and 5 are for Maaser. How do you say Maaser?
That's tithe.
1/10 that you have to put aside for the Leviim, the people that was operating Beis HaMikdash at the time. And the 2 years that Gimel and Vav, the third and the sixth year, are called, the Maaser was not given to the Leviim, but was given to the Aniyim, to the poor people. So each year like this has a time by itself. So therefore, the time in the year that divide between year to year relating to this thing, the 1/10 that you have to give to either to the poor or to the Leviim, this year started in the 15 days of Shvat, which is the middle of the winter. So this is the entire thing. But there are many things that connected to this, and about this we'll speak later. But this is the basic. This is Tu B'Shvat. Now, the fact that we're talking about a fruit of the Holy Land, there is something very meaningful that Hashem, from the entire world, God gave one place a level of holiness. This is the land of Israel, Eretz Yisrael, the place that Hashem, God Himself, dwelled in Yerushalayim. So Eretz Yisrael is more holy than any other place in the world. So the fact that the Holy Land produce fruit has extra meaning than any fruit that are in any other place in the world, and that will make it so special. Okay,
amazing. Okay, so Rabbi, now that we have a little bit of background about Tu B'Shvat, what are the practical actions that we should take to give more meaning to Tu B'Shvat? So this all sounds all nice and dandy, but the average person, Rabbi, did.
So first of all, Jews are in exile. They are spread all over the world. So we do not, as a nation, live well in our place, which is the land of Israel. So Tu B'Shvat is a very good opportunity, all over the world, wherever you are, to appreciate the fruits of Eretz Yisrael. And that's what we're doing when we taking into B'Shvat the fruits, mostly the fruits that grow in Eretz Yisrael, which is Shivat Aminim, and make bracha on them, and appreciate the fact that Hashem gave us this land to be our homeland, and even if we were not born there, even if we will not even visited there, but this is the place of the Jewish nation, and the hope of the Jews during the history, wherever they were, that one day we will go there. We sang this every day in the pray, in Shmoneh Esrei, in Tfilat Amidah, and Birkat HaMazon. We have a special bracha ala haaretz v'ala mazon. So Tu B'Shvat is the day of the year that the entire day dedicated to this, to remember that our place is Eretz Yisrael, and Eretz Yisrael has a very, very high holy level, and the fruits of Eretz Yisrael. Fruit is something very deep. We'll talk about this later. What is fruit? We have to know that when Hashem created Adam, when God created Adam, as it's mentioned in the beginning of Genesis and the beginning of Sefer Bereshit, the first thing that He told them, the first commandment was related to food. Don't eat from this, eat from this, don't eat from this. Right? Don't eat from the knowledge of from the tree of knowledge, differentiate between good and evil, and that was the only mitzvah, only commandment that he got, and he failed. He ate wrong. So Tu B'Shvat is the opportunity to fix this and eat right. So this is the depth behind this. We find it in the Torah that Hashem put. What is the Garden of Eden? There is a place called Eden. There is a garden in Eden. The garden is in Eden. And in the garden, God Himself planted things. ויצמח השם אלוקים גן בעדן מקדם. And over there He put Adam. And He told them, you have to guard this place. לעובדה ולשומרה. מכל עץ הגן אכול תאכל. So we're talking about fruits. You see how Tu B'Shvat connected to the creation? Fruits, the fruits of the tree. So, to eating is something very, very meaningful, because when you eat something, you take this fruit and put it by eating as part of you. It's become part of you. So if you eat right, I'm not talking about health. Health is also an important issue by itself.
Another talk for a different time.
We're talking about spiritual health, which is a combination of spiritual and physical. And that's what is the meaning of this. And now, after Adam sinned, he was chased out of Gan Eden. The place that's similar to Gan Eden in the world after the sin is Eretz Israel. This is the real Gan Eden, the mini Gan Eden that we have. And it's holy place. Therefore Hashem promised it to our forefathers, to Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. And He promises to their children. But He told them, listen, you're going to get this place, but you have to be very careful. It's a responsibility. You have to behave right in order to stay there. If you will not stay there. And we didn't listen. We didn't take it seriously. And twice we went into galus. We went into exile. And we're still in exile. So we have to, as Jews, remember this always. And Tu B'Shvat is the opportunity to eat right and fix what make Adam be chased of Gan Eden and make us chased out of Eretz Israel because we didn't behave right.
Amazing. Wow, Rabbi, what inspiration. So the question that can be asked is that, Tu B'Shvat, it's in the winter. If you go outside the trees, the flowers, it's all dead. It's, there's no leaves. Why is it not in the summer, in the springtime, when it's a little bit nicer?
Amazing question. But listen to the amazing answer. I'm giving a compliment even before I say that. But you will see soon why.
Okay.
One of the major principles in the 13th principle of Judaism is the last one, which is Tchiyat HaMeitim, resurrection of the dead. Metim Yechaye El Berov Chasdo. Listen to this, it's very deep. We have wrong conception of what existing is. We think who exists? A person that has a soul in his body and is functioning. But how long is this gonna happen? 70 years, 80 years, until 120, and then a person is dead. Now what happens when a person is dead? Many people think, this is it, finished, done, and that's it, no more. We know, and this is one of the 13 principles in Judaism, that it's not true. A person do not actually disappear. Death is not the final point. Death is just a separation between the body and the soul. And let me tell you something about it again. It's very deep, it's very long, but you have to understand.
Away. The niftar.
Right.
On.
Right. When you're alive, you look at the mirror, what do you see? You see your body, you do not see your soul. I never saw my soul, I never saw anyone's soul. In our physical eyes, we cannot see it. And we have an illusion that what our senses, including vision, but all the other 4 or 5 senses that we have altogether, give us a real picture about the real reality, which is completely wrong. Completely wrong. We're saying only the surface. A body of a person is just the wrap of the real thing that's inside. So even if a person is alive, you could not see his soul. Death is a separation between the body and the soul. And the body, we know what's going to happen with the body. The body goes to the ground, and if you open the ground after a few years, you'll find out that the body is decayed and seems like finished. And this caused the illusion that death is the last point. In the Judaism, we know that there is a soul, and there is a neshama. And the soul is not physical. Therefore, only physical things are limited by time and space. And the limit by time make you to go to the end point of it. But it's only physical. Neshama is spiritual, it's not physical. Therefore, it's not limited by time and space. Therefore, death is not the end point of the neshama, but it's the separation from the body. And the neshama keep existing. Now, okay, people will say, you know what? It's nice to believe so, but what's the proof? And more than that, Judaism tells us that at the end of days will be a resurrection of the death, Tchiyat HaMeitim, meaning that the soul will come back to the body will be rebuilt, and the soul, the same body, will be rebuilt. It's not new body, the same body. that was there, decayed, and seems like nothing, this body itself will become again to exist, to real life, and the neshama will go back to it. So people could say, you know what? It's a nice thing to believe, but come on. Tu B'Shvat proving it. You know how? In the beginning of the winter, at least in the land of Israel, which is, you know, the seasons are different in America or different other places. The winter comes, you start to work on the field, you plow, you plant, and what happened? Let's say you take a wheat, take good wheat, and bury it in the ground. What happened to it? It decayed, and it seems dead, and it seems like a waste. You could use it to grain it and make a food from it, but you're burying it, right? And it's gonna be decayed, and then what happened? God sent rain, and the rain works, but it's quiet. The entire winter, it seems like everything is completely dead. What happened in Tu B'Shvat? You see the little things coming in the trees. This is Tchiyat HaMeitim. This is the resurrection of the dead. See, you have to wait. The winter seems like a dead time, but it's temporary. It's everything in order for the Aviv, for when the spring will come and things will grow back and will be revived. Now you could understand what Tu B'Shvat is. Tu B'Shvat relate to the last of the 13 principles, Tchiyat HaMeitim. And it says, Ki ha'adam etz hasadeh. A person is like the etz. So if you look at the etz, you could understand the depth of Tchiyat HaMeitim and Tu B'Shvat.
Wow, Rabbi, powerful. Like you said, amazing.
See, I gave it the compliment before because I know
the compliment is 1,000,000% right. Unbelievable. Wow. Tchiyat HaMeitim, it's going to happen but soon. Okay, so Rabbi, you just gave such a big boost. I love it. So what practical lessons, you touched on so many different ones about eating and about Eretz Yisrael and about Tchiyat HaMeitim. What other practical lessons can we learn from the holiday of Tu B'Shvat that we can take with us for the rest of our lives?
I have an amazing message. Amazing. When you take a kid, as we said, Ki ha'adam etz hasadeh.
It's like a tree.
Right? It's like a tree. If you plant a garden and you want to plant a tree, so you put a tree, you have to work for it, right? You have to water it. You want it to grow straight, right? What happens if it's go this way?
Crooked.
If it's crooked. So you have to straight it. In the beginning, when it's young, it's easy to put a stick next to it and make it straight. If there is a tendency of it to go this way, you want it straight, you could do it. Only when it's young. When it's become hard, if you push it or try to, you break it.
Right.
This is the thing that we could learn. When we plant, God gave us many gifts. The most amazing and responsible one is kids. Children. To bring a child to the world is not just a gift, it's a responsibility. You brought this child to the world, you have to take care of it. You have to take care not just of his physical conditions, which every parent should do, but you have to build their personality. And that's applied to every human being. As Jews, we have extra, aside from all of this, to take care of the health, to take care of the
spiritual,
of the character. Yeah. We as Jews has a mission in the world. We are the nation of God, and God gave us a Torah, and we have an obligation to pass it to the next generation. And that takes a lot of wisdom and sensitivity, especially in the crazy society that we are living today. Everything is twisted. So we have to take our kids and put them, in a warm houses, in places that has Haganah, has protection from all the bad influence that could influence the personality and the mission of this kid as a Jew. When the kid is young, You have to take care, to be aware of what could influence wrong. You have a responsibility to grow, to make this kid grow in the right environment, in the right schools, in the right teachers, that this kid will get the right messages. This is the plan. This is Tu B'Shvat. I mean, you have to learn from this. A kid is a little, very precious plant that you in charge of him, and you have to take care of him.
Rabbi, so many gems. What chizuk, what inspiration. Powerful, powerful, powerful. So Rabbi, we don't want it to end, but you know, one last final message that you can give to our audience, whether it's about Tu B'Shvat, whether it's about anything and everything, one final takeaway about what we discussed or anything in that matter.
So we have to know again, Tu B'Shvat is a very good junction on the way. We have a calendar. The Jewish calendar is not just it's just calendar by chance. Every week we have Shabbat. Every year we have Pesach, we have Sukkot, we have all those are stations on the way in order to help us to know what spiritual thing to inject to our daily life. So Tu B'Shvat, as we said, is Ha'adam Etz HaSadeh. A person is like the tree. A person himself, the children, as we mentioned. But we have to understand that we connected to a bigger philosophical way to look at things. The Torah gives us, if you're lucky to get the information that God, the Creator Himself, who created the world, He gave us in the Torah. The meaning of the word Torah are instructions. Torah li et haderech, show me the way. It's like GPS. You know, now these days you cannot move without GPS. But when you go from your house to, let's say, to your work, what you do every day, you do not use the GPS. When you use the GPS, when you go into Chicago, I mean, if you live in New York, or you go into somewhere that you never was before, you need a GPS. GPS is for places that you do not know, right? So we have to know that we do not know. People think that they know. But when you know that you do not know, you strive for real GPS. The real GPS is only one. That the Creator who created us and created the world gave us instructions of how to take the most from the world. And this is the Torah, the entire Torah. So again, I want to use Tu B'Shvat as a station on the way in order to just repeat how important it is to be connected to the instructions of God. And we are lucky. We're blessing God every day. Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam. Blessed you, God, that you are the King of the universe, but from the entire universe. We're not talking about planet Earth, the entire amazing big universe. You chose us. Asher bachar banu. You chose us. We are the chosen people. Chosen people is not just a gift, it's a responsibility. We got the Torah, we have to know it, we have to learn it, we have to be connected to it. And the Torah is the only way to really actualize the potential, the big, huge, amazing potential that every human being has, especially if you're a Jew. You have a bigger neshama, you have a higher neshama that obligate you to live in certain standards. It's really hard in this generation if you're not connected to the Torah. It's not hard, it's impossible if you're not connected to the Torah. Therefore, the main message is be connected to Torah, learn the Torah, look where you live in a place of Torah, a real instructions, rabbi that could direct you in the right way, and this way you will fulfill your potential, and you will be a very proud Jew to yourself, to your family, and to your nation.
Wow, Chazaq Baruch Rabbi Yinon Kalazan. What chizuk, what inspiration, what a powerful, perfect final message. The importance of connecting to the Torah. And Rabbi, we want to bless you, all the brachot of the Torah, continually inspiring Klal Yisrael, the Jewish people, with your amazing stream and amazing lectures. Yagdir Torah v'yadir.
Thank you very much. I wanted to mention before the end that anyone who interested in learning, God gave us, it's not by chance. God gave the option to build in technology many good things that you could use them for good or not. But there is something called internet. Internet is not...
Rabbi, what's that? Sorry.
The internet is an amazing tool if you use it right. Of course, you could spread very, very not good through the internet, but there are ability to teach and learn Torah. You have many websites, and God gave me the Baruch Hashem. I'm thanking Him every day. There is a website, my website. It's called haraviyinon.com. You could just look for it. Over there we have so far more than 1,500 classes. Wow. In Hebrew and in English, about 1/3 of them in English. So I really recommend it, not just because I give it, because I know how much effort and how much information there is there. So just go look at it. I believe Rabbi you just could even Google, you find it. Yinon Kalazan, you look for my name, and then you'll find it. There are so many shurim. Of course, there are many other shurim, there are many rabbanim, but I could recommend what I worked for, because I know that I put the real besiyata dishmaya effort, and there is a lot of information over there, so everyone should go there, enjoy it, and grow as a Jew, as a proud Jew.
Amen. I could attest that the Rabbi really has these unbelievable slides, and the Rabbi puts a lot of kochot energies into preparing and reviewing all the chomer, all the information. So we really encourage everyone to visit haraviyinon.com. Rabbi, once again, thank you very, very much. We want to remind everyone every single Tuesday, Chazaq Torah Talks. We have special guests coming onto our program. We encourage everyone to share for this link. If you enjoy this program, share the wealth. Just keep it for yourself. Send it out to others as well. And last but not least, we want to thank our dear sponsor, dailygiving.org. Dailygiving.org. Check it out. An amazing cause, amazing idea. That $1 a day goes to various different tzedakot organizations, and it really goes a very far way. Have an amazing night, and once again, thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome, Thank you.